Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So let's talk about how I think the structure of the rest of the celebration is going to go. Now that we essentially have most of the information of what is coming for the rest of part 2, right? Now, we'll still have the data download later tonight, to get some more concrete information. But for the most part, we are, again, well aware of what's going on, for the rest of part 2, right? So, part 2 should conclude this week. And then next week would be, what I would call part 3. Sometimes the parts aren't just as static as just like, part 2, part 1, part 1, part 2, part 3, EX part, those things. But next week should kind of be the finale of what is coming with the celebration proper. And then maybe after that, we would move into kind of an EX part. I think the next Dokkan Fest is probably somewhere in here. Although I've heard whispers that it looks like there might be a banner on the 8th, which would be earlier than I expect. So who knows? Maybe remember what they did with the 10th anniversary, where we had, kind of the whole roadmap. And then they kind of just did a rolling start right into the next celebration, which became the 10th anniversary EX part, which became Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. So maybe we could see Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, although I imagine they'll probably pair Adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta with Adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I would assume so, but we'll see. We'll see how that's going to look. So again, just for the rest of this week, we have, we're going to have Battlefield, we're going to have the Perfect Cooperation team battle, we're going to have a boss rush coming for the Birth of the Shadow Dragon event, which should be really fun. There's an unidentified challenge event. We'll see what that's going to be like. The counterpart to that in part 1 was the Infinite Zamasu event. So it might not be oh my god, hardest fight in Dokkan history, but more so an actual gimmick type, stage like the Infinite Zamasu one was. I thought the Infinite Zamasu stage was kind of a fun idea, though. I did. Right. So there's that. We're also going to be getting the 10 EZA characters. We have 6 sub EZAs. We have a free-to-play EZA, and then we have 3 super EZAs, which will dramatically increase the strength. The wording I would use for some of these characters would be increasing the floor of, GT Hero and GT bosses, right? So we're going to get some nice little additions. Sin looks really good. The only character whose data we have not seen at the moment is the Battlefield LR Legion of Shadow Dragons. Okay, yeah, thanks, Microsoft Defender Summary, bastard. Okay, anyway. Y'all saw that, right? Hopefully. Well, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, Legion of Shadow Dragons. We'll see. We'll see the Legion of Shadow Dragon tonight in the data download. Hopefully they'll be good. So, what would I expect for part 3, right? It would not shock me if there was potentially even another challenge event. I saw someone joking around that we could get a special battle boss rush, which probably would be interesting. It would be very difficult, but it certainly would be interesting. But usually they're saving boss rushes for these events, for years after, right? I do like what they've done where they've gone back to a lot of these old challenge events and added boss rushes to them, right? We've seen this with the God event, now Divine Wrath, Mortal Will, right? A bunch of these events have gotten some of these boss rush stages. Now the Birth of the Shadow Dragon event is going to get one. Perhaps now could be the time. It would be the perfect time for them to drop this, the boss rush stage. Now this is going to be unless the enemies are hitting really weak, this would be a monster difficulty stage. The GT Red Zone boss rush, because this, Rildo locks, Baby as an AoE, Super 17 Ki Blast Absorb, Ice Shenron locks, and then Omega just would be hitting very hard. But again, we go from locking into a nasty AoE plus stunning boss right there, into a Ki Blast absorbing boss, into another locking boss, into, again, Omega, who just hits really hard. So it's we would definitely see some kind of, I think, some real scariness with this fight. I think that would be a very, very, very challenging fight that we'd have to worry about right there, right? So The big thing that I think we could see, and I think we will see, is these guys. These two characters are just kind of like, to me, kind of like suspiciously just not there, right? Easying. And I think they both will, and I think both of them actually could be a huge power buff to, I mean, in my opinion, the two best characters in the game. The Blue Goku and Vegeta, and the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, it's so funny. You get, like, you know, these Dokkan fans, man. Like, this guy, to me, like, is just very obviously the best unit in the game. Like, if you just play not like an idiot, he's just going to kill everything very quickly, and he's going to take almost no damage in doing so, because most of these bosses, he has a 70% chance to counter their super anyway, right? Like, he's just going to dominate. If you intentionally go way out of your way to be an idiot, he could take damage from normals. But, I mean, the thing a lot of people, I guess, it's just, I mean, their brains just aren't working. GT Super Saiyan 4 characters get a lot of stats from links, including defense, right? Like, villains. If you posted a clip on Dokkan Twitter of, like, Omega Shenron getting crushed, and he has 0 links up, people are going to go crazy, and they're going to say you're being, like, you know, you're being disingenuous. You're being fake. Skill issue. Stupid. But people are doing this with Gogeta, and it's like, oh yeah, Gogeta's weak. It's insanity. It's utter insanity, man. The shit that you would see. Again, go post a clip of Omega with no links getting crushed and see what people say. You think they're gonna say, oh, Omega sucks. He's ass. No, they're gonna say you're ass, man. It's the thing with this Gogeta too. Again, if you just don't play like an idiot, like, he dominates. His intro is a huge part in that too. Now, if we look at this, he does need 2 other GT hero category allies. On a lot of these teams, that's not really such an issue right now. But, like, let's say we wanted to run a raw Fuse Fighters team. I mean, we have the physical LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but we don't really have another fusion option to be able to strongly activate that. So if they drop this guy and they make him super good, he looks set well for this meta, by the way. Right, with this, I'm totally okay if they keep that and then just give him most of his power right there. To me, that's fine. With, you know, because the special battles are kind of like the content right now. Now, remember, this easy ATURs, man, I mean, oftentimes people's expectations are too high. But, I mean, this guy, he does have, so, I mean, he just has this when receiving a super attack, which is ridiculous. So, I don't know. Like, if they wanted to, this guy is easily the best TUR. Like, if they actually just wanted to put in just a little bit of juice to this guy, you're just going to get the best TUR. Because, like, if they even bump this to 70, we saw this with the Super EZA Super Saiyan 4s. Right here. They bumped their super attack nullification from 30 to 50. So now it's a coin flip that they will counter enemy super attacks. If they bump this guy's up to 70, that would be really crazy. I do think that this guy is going to be pretty strong. And then don't forget his active right here. I mean, you guys see this, right? The hardest fight in the game. This will heavily neutralize the hardest fight in the game, Goku Black. Because, like, a debuff right there, that's really going to drop the amount of damage Goku Black is going to be able to do. So, like, this Gogeta, he might be a really crazy option. And if they do make him really crazy, which they could, right? I'm with this and with this, like, they could make him crazy. But if they do, it's going to really make this guy better. Because then, you know, on any single team, we could just run the 3 Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas. And, I mean, this guy with his intro, I mean, pushes him just to a different stratosphere in terms of character strength, right? Then there's Vegeta and Trunks. Now, I would say it's much more likely Vegeta and Trunks end up as the best, like, you know, non-summonable character from the celebration. This is a Dokkan Fest LR. And to me, I just see no scenario where they're not easying here. The easy way to look at this is if we look at the Vegeta portion of this kit right here, their kit, what is this doing here? There are no good Trunkses in Dokkan. I think, well, okay. Actually, there is about to be one. I think that the GT Trunks who's going to be getting his sub EZA, the STR GT Trunks, looks pretty effective to me. I mean, this character's good, but like they don't really have a ton of overlap, right? Like it's like, it's just like Trunks. Like, why is this here? Right? Like it has to be for them. So like I am 100% convinced that this character and INT Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that's what we're getting probably next week. I think so. I think we'll see these two characters EZA as, you know, part of like a grand part 3. This is definitely looking like one of the best celebrations we've ever seen in Dokkan history. I think it looks really good. And this to me would be a great ending point right here. Making both of these very good options right here. And, you know, strengthening some conditions that these characters have got too. Right? And you might say, oh, well, you know, Omega and Rose, they need the help too. To be fair, they did also get a lot. I mean, I want to see Omega just continue to get, you know, option after option after option, 100%. But, like, you know, Tech Sin is going to be great for him. We'll see about the Legion of Shadow Dragons. You know, if the event, nuking is not banned in the event, Super Baby 2 could be good, right? Like, we got some options. Rose has options. The other thing, too, people just act like Rose is just stuck on his own team, which is not the case. You run him on Omega's team. You can run him on the Fuse Fighter team, right? Like, it's very easy to run this guy off of Super Bosses, right? But I think that these two could be really, really good. Let's say they wanted to give, like, there would be 4 EZAs, 1 for each character. I've seen talk that maybe this could be the perfect time for them to throw out LR Super 17. Looking at the way Omega Shenron is structured right now, I would have no problem whatsoever with this. Omega Shenron probably would work really well with Super 17. And then for Rose, who would be like a Super Bosses option for them to EZA or Super probably EZA. I mean, they could Super EZA Tech Fusion Zamasu. That would be good. I don't know right now. They still have not Super EZA'd a non-Dokkan Fest or LR. So I'm going to assume Bana units can't Super EZA until the day one of them Super EZAs, right? It's just kind of where I'm at with that. Oh my god, this character. They would be going so far out of their way. Oh my god, if they Super EZA'd them. Bruh. This would be the one right here. Oh my god. Yes, dude. Oh no, but they're not on Omega's team. GT Bosses, Power Absorption, Inhuman Deeds. They're not on Omega's team. Because Goku Black is Inhuman Deeds, but Zamasu is not on it. That would... Oh my god, dude. That is the perfect character to do. Would be Goku Black and Zamasu. Let me go back to it. Is there another one that's... I would prefer a character that would be on Omega's team. I mean, they're probably not going to do STR Rose. I don't like a sub EZA is not going to be what we're talking about here. I guess it would probably be him. It would have to be him, huh? I mean, I could see them separately Super EZAing this guy and Sword of Hope Trunks. But remember, they came out on the same banner. I don't know. We would see. But I think for sure we'll see these two characters. Maybe the villains will get 2 as well. What a ridiculous celebration that would be overall. Let me know what you guys think. But I do expect we'll see Vegeta and Trunks and INT Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta EZAing next week.